So after 2 years and almost 50,000 miles driven, my Tesla Model 3 has actually gotten better over that time, unlike what you'd expect from most cars. I bought my dual motor Model 3 as an inventory car, an October build from 2018, with a slight discount. Over the past couple years, I've gotten tons of software updates, many new features. We've taken the car on a few road trips, and it has just been a blast. So I wanted to make a quick video for you, give you an update on how I'm enjoying the car, what I think about the car after this time. So 50,000 miles later and 50,000 subscribers, thank you so much for that. What do I think of the car? I will give it to you straight up front if you don't have time to watch a whole video. I love the car. Yes, I would absolutely purchase it again. Some people will call me a Tesla fanboy, and I will admit I am a huge Tesla fan, but that's after owning the product and using it for 2 years and all of those miles. I'm still a huge fan. So before buying the car, I really didn't know much at all about electric cars, and what attracted me to Tesla was really the Autopilot and full self-driving system, which I am loving. I am using the beta, which is only out to a few limited people, and I'm very thankful for that. I do hope it rolls out to more people soon, but overall, Autopilot, Navigate on Autopilot, Full Self-Driving have really blown me away, and while they're not finished, there's still work to be done. I love them and I use them as much as I can every day. Things like charging the car I thought would be inconvenient, but after only a few short weeks, I realized how much better I actually enjoy that. When I had my gas car, I'm sure you've done it, I went as long as possible without going to the gas station. I didn't want to go there. I'd always push it as long as I could, and then I'd be stressing out that morning or on the way home. Am I going to make it to the gas station? Am I going to be late for work because now I have to stop and get gas? And it was just annoying. It was also expensive compared to the cost of electricity. Now, of course, you can get a cheaper gas car and overall the cost will be cheaper, but if you're spending a similar amount on a car or even a bit less, it ends up being cheaper and way more convenient to have an electric car. I get home at night, I plug in, and it's full every morning. I pretty much never supercharge. On road trips, we did a lot of supercharging, and I loved it. It's easy, it's convenient, it's all just built into the car. You can do some extra planning ahead of time if you want to, but you really don't have to. Overall, I pretty much prefer every aspect of charging over getting gas. That includes road trips, daily charging, all of that. Overall, over the 2 years and 50,000 miles of my car, I've definitely saved time with charging, not having to go to the gas station for all of those miles. For costs on charging, I'll throw up an approximation on the screen. I don't know exactly what I've spent, but I now have home solar, which I got this year, so most of my charging is either free or close to free. If I charge at night while the sun's not out, I do have to pay some transmission fees, but it's less than a third of what I was paying before, and if I can charge while it's sunny, then my charge is absolutely free. So while before solar, I was paying $50 a month for electricity to charge my car, and before that, $150 a month on gas for my previous car, I can now say the cost to charge my car with absolutely no sun, just using the stored solar credits that I have, would probably cost me around $20 a month, maybe a little bit less, if I did all my charging at night. But I tried to do my charging when it's sunny out, so it's even less than that. And that's with a commute that's 70 miles a day that I do 5 days a week. As for maintenance, if you watch my 1 year review, it's the same. I don't do anything besides rotate my tires, and I have changed the washer fluid. I've bought one new set of tires, and I actually did get rear-ended last year, which was really annoying, and it was a hit and run, and they left a little scuff. I did go get it checked out, and there was absolutely no damage, so I opted to buy Tesla's $55 paint repair kit, and I repaired it myself. As for my battery's health and longevity, I actually ended up switching to % on my app and in the car. The mile range displayed is always changing, and was honestly a bit frustrating to me, especially because the way I drive a lot of highway driving, it's not as efficient as calculated, so you'll drive, say, 70 miles, but the car will say you used 100 miles. And that's perfectly normal if you do that in a gas car as well. Maybe the effect isn't as dramatic, but if you drive really fast or really aggressively, the gasoline will not take you as far as if you drive more conservatively. So same in the electric car, but it's a little more pronounced, and so I ended up switching to %. I found it was a little easier to use, a little more enjoyable. If I do switch my percentage over to the mileage reading though, it appears I've lost around 11 miles of range, maybe 15 miles of range, right around that number, which for the amount of miles I have is pretty good to me, and that should level off. It shouldn't change too much. I noticed it kind of sank down really quickly. I was sitting around 300 miles of range versus the original 310 miles the car came with, and then it quickly sank down to having this new 295-ish mile of range at 100%, and it's just been sitting there ever since it changed to that. So I'm not sure why it's happening. I don't really care all that much about it. Again, I just plug in and I'm full every morning, so that number doesn't really mean too much to me. As far as my negatives go, they're really the same as my 1 year review. The sun visors are too small. They kind of annoy me when it's sunny out, and winter range is really degraded. Most days I'll lose 30% of range. It ends up, again, not mattering because I just plug in when I get home every night and I'm full the next day. But if you have a lot of driving to do, it can be a bit annoying, but daily I don't really notice it. I will say I do look forward to newer EVs that have a higher range, looking in the 500-mile range, and I think that will be sufficient even for the worst winter conditions for pretty much anything you need to do. Another negative, I do have some paint wear on the bottom of the rockers, and I think it needs to be repaired. I haven't, to be totally honest, looked too much at it, but I think it needs to be maybe repainted or something under there. I'll try to show you a picture, but it's kind of hard to see, especially now there's snow everywhere. I can't take a good picture right now, but I think I might have taken one before. But most cars in Michigan suffer that. Every car I've ever owned has had some rust on it. As I said in the beginning, overall, I am loving the car. My next car is most definitely going to be a Tesla, money permitting, and I've been saving up, so I think that's going to happen. I plan on upgrading to the Cybertruck when it comes out at the end of this year, hopefully, or early next year at the worst case. We're also looking for a Tesla for our secondary car. Our second car right now is an Equinox, and after having an electric car, just don't want gas cars anymore. They're annoying. We just don't like them. The maintenance, having to get oil changes and things like that. It's annoying. I don't know, that's the best way to put it. It is cheaper to have an Equinox over something like a Model Y, but the prices are coming down. If the tax credit comes back this year, that would be huge. And we could get a standard range Model Y for our secondary car and then have like the long range Cybertruck, the tri-motor, for our primary car. So if we were to go on road trips, we would have that vehicle. Often in my videos, when I'm really positive about Tesla, I get called a fanboy, and that's fine. I own the product and I use it, so that should tell you something. If I'm negative about Tesla, people call me a Tesla hater, which I think is really strange because I own the car and I love it and I want to buy another Tesla. But overall, nothing is perfect. Nothing is 100% terrible either. But I think out of all the cars I could have, money permitting, I had unlimited money, it would be a Tesla. Anything in the world, from my experience so far, that's what I would pick. So if you're thinking about getting a Tesla, hoping for the long term, they're good, they're worth it, this is definitely the car that I would want going forward. It's still fun to drive, it's still efficient, it's still super safe. The software is only getting better over time. Overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to keep it short, sweet, and simple. I love the Tesla. I would recommend it to pretty much anybody that wants a new, nice car. If you have any questions I didn't answer in this video, feel free to comment down below and I will answer whatever questions you have. Hope you enjoyed this one, and you will see me in the next video.